everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today. Finally, I got the stream to work. Finally, just total tech difficulty, guys. Streaming from a completely new location. It was bouncing between Real Sports. Changed all the settings there. Changed it back here. You don't need to know that nonsense. What we need to know right now is I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and this is Blue Jays Today. And we're going to be watching along on this trade deadline. Watch along, everybody. That's right. We've got some rumors that are coming. I'm looking on my phone. Things are being updated as we're speaking, and things are going to be changing as the night is going on. So I hope that we have a fun and long stream, guys, because we got to cover everything in the last 24 hours, and we got to cover everything as news breaks. So you guys help me in this stream kind of cover what's going on, you know, what's the latest, you know, Patron tweet or Bob Nightingale tweet that's got some rumblings moving, because I know things are going to be constantly changing all the time. What's up, everybody? We've got 77 people in the stream right now watching. Thank y'all for being here on your Thursday evening. And obviously this is not a normal setup like I'm usually doing. Both me and Nick are actually away from the studio in Toronto, so we got a little custom setup here, but everything is going to be the same. We've got the screens to show you. We got the chat here. We got the microphones, the camera, everything. Also, shout out Daniela saying it was awesome meeting you and Nick last Saturday. So shout out to Daniela, who came to Real Sports last Saturday. It was a great time. It was obviously not the desired result we wanted, but it was still a great time to get out there, watch some Blue Jays baseball with y'all, and to meet y'all in person. Justin Cooper saying, I was 69th today. Well, my man, Justin Cooper, 69 likes are the only thing that we're looking for right here. So guys, please make sure to like the stream if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button. I can't ask for a Go Pack Go, says Adam. I know, I got it. Nick's got to text me, and if he's in the stream watching along, he's got to get a Go Pack Go from him. I can't. I'm too loyal to my Cardinals. But without further ado, folks, why don't we get in and start covering the trade rumors and the news that has happened already, and then we'll get into things that are ongoing, because, you know, nothing could happen tonight, but I hope they do. But let's go right ahead, folks. First things first, I think the biggest piece of news that came out last night was the fact that Angels GM said that Shohei Ohtani will not be traded. Let me make sure y'all can see. Good, y'all can see. Angels GM says Shohei Ohtani will not be traded this trade deadline. In fact, and we're going to get to it a little bit later, he says that the Angels, they're going to be buying this trade deadline, which is kind of shocking in a way, because if you look up the AL, let's go AL East standings, and we'll find them in here. If you look up the standings, yeah, I mean, they're on a bit of run as of their last 10. They're 8-2. Before this, they were not doing so well, but they have found themselves in a pretty interesting situation where they could compete for the wild card. I think they're pretty much out of the division, but I mean, hey, I could be wrong. In the division right now, you know, they're sitting at a little, I mean, what is the division right here? They're sitting at okay, you know what? Credit where credit is due. They're 6 games back, which isn't horrible. I mean, we're 5.5 back, and I think we might have a shot potentially at the AL East, like in some reality. But right now, if you look at the just the wild card standings, they're only 3 games back. That's only half a game back from the Yankees, 1.5 game back from the Boston Red Sox, and obviously 3 games back from us. So if they go on a bit of a tear, be careful, guys. They could be right there. So, but it is unfortunate, because I know everybody was super excited about a Shohei Ohtani trade. I know like half the people out there were saying it's not going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen for a lot of reasons. I mean, the GM of the Angels, they want to bring something to Anaheim. It's been a long, long time. You can't just waste an opportunity of having a generational talent like this. I get it. You want to please the fans. You want to make something happen. But I think it should have happened, because, you know, you have a guy who's literally generational talent. And what are you going to get for a guy with generational abilities? You're going to get a pretty good deal on a return. You know, looking over at Baltimore, they were a pretty popular subject there for a while, of a team that possibly could have traded for a Shohei Ohtani. You know, they've got a lot of prospects in their system. I think it could have happened, but they're going to hang on. and they're gonna not trade him away. And apparently the word on the street is that they were never going to trade away Shohei Ohtani. They were never going to do that. You know, everyone on all the MLB analysts, and hey, I even got to say, including myself, we're all like, yeah, they should totally trade. What team are they going to go to? And it was a lot of fun and speculation. But, I mean, yeah, Dan's even saying, I'm not surprised the Angels are going to deal Shohei Ohtani. And you know what? Yeah, I'm not surprised either. Matt also saying new Heyman tweet. I'm going to get to that in a moment, my man. While also, I'm just waiting for everybody coming. We've got 150 people in here. Shout out to everybody who is in right now, the channel. And sorry for the delays, folks. Just had to set up the stream. I'm actually going to go to Twitter on a little sidebar and see, because you guys are going to be telling me tweets, you know, this is what's happening. These are some new updates. So Heyman did not tweet. So Matt, relax, bro. We got to wait till something actually happens. But let's talk about, while we're on those Angels and Ohtani news, let's talk about the trade that happened last night, shall we? Let's talk about it. Let me see if I can switch over. For some reason, it doesn't want to switch over. There we go. Jeff Passan came out with the breaking news last night, and so did many other sources, saying that the Los Angeles Angels are finalizing a deal. This is all last night, folks. This is well past news. Finalizing a deal to acquire right-hander Lucas Giolito, a right-handed reliever Ronaldo Lopez from the Chicago White Sox for catcher Edgar Quero and left-hander Kai Bush. So that's a pretty good haul from the Los Angeles Angels. I mean, yeah, you give up some pretty good prospects. I think Edgar Quero, excuse me, can't even speak right now, was a top 3 prospect, if I wasn't mistaken. Yeah, he was their 3rd ranked prospect. So they did have to give up a decent amount. I mean, for Lucas Giolito, of course you're going to give up a number 3 ranked prospect. He has been phenomenal this season, Lucas Giolito. And this is the big move. This is part of their big move package. You can't just carry rotation with Shohei Ohtani. But if you look up that Angels rotation right now, folks, it's starting to look pretty dang good. Let's look at it. The depth chart, the rotation. You've got Shohei Ohtani. Tyler Anderson isn't having as good as the years he had before back in the other side of LA, by the ocean, the Dodgers. But you got Lucas Giolito, who's a stud. Sandoval's can be good. Now you got a 1-2-3, a really solid 1-2-3. Cannon give you some outings. Detmers can give you some outings. Now that rotation, adding someone like Lucas Giolito, is starting to look pretty dang good. And yeah, I mean, if this is the exact formula for those Angels, folks, you got to go on a run, and you can do it with Lucas Giolito. Give up your 3rd-ranked prospect. This is a year. Honestly, if you're the Angels now, you got to go all in. You're shipping off all your prospects. You're not done right now. Add another pitcher. Add bullpen help. You got to get everything possible to help Shohei Ohtani in his final year, or else it's a failure. Or else it's a straight-up failure, folks. So that right there is the update right there. I kind of wish we got Lucas Giolito, if I'm going to be honest. Because it was like him. It was Snell is kind of around the block. We're going to get to him in a little bit. Jordan Montgomery, Marcus Stroman. Those are kind of the big kind of names dancing around that market. And, it's going to be a pretty interesting week seeing how they develop. I don't think they're done. That can't be it. You know what I mean? They get him early. They get Lucas Giolito early, and then you continue to build. You know what I mean? Scream says Angels are done. No, bro. That's literally not why I'm here talking about this. Angels are in talks with Nats about the Candyman. Yeah, again, another reliever right there. You know what I mean? I think Ross will not make a good trade, saying Glenn. And for all those Blue Jay fans out there, we're going to get to your Blue Jays rumors. Here's the thing. We cover so much Blue Jays news and rumors here on the channel. We've covered you up to date. So if something breaks, screw everything I'm talking about right now. We're going to go ahead and talk all about that, folks. Candy's third baseman, my bad. Candelario? Is that what we're talking about? That's my bad. For some reason, I saw I was scrolling through Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it now, and I saw him with a glove, and I'm like, oh, pitcher. Excuse me. My apologies. They could use a third baseman. Well, whatever happened to Anthony Rendon? Why does he keep getting injured? You know what I mean? All right, let's continue on, folks. That's the news over in LA. Another trade that happened, not a third baseman, but on the other side of the diamond, on the other corner, Brewers. They acquired first baseman Carlos Santana from the Pirates. So obviously the Brewers, they're first in the division. They've got, the Cincinnati Reds that are battling right there for that division. They're in a wild card spot, those Reds. But the Brewers, they're sitting comfortably there in that NL Central. I don't know if it's comfortably. Let me double check, folks. They've got right now 57. Yeah, they're not comfortable. They're right behind them. They're on their tail. That's why they got to make a move. What happened to Rowdy Tellez? Brewers? Did you just never pan out? I know he's not having the best year this year, but Carlos Santana's having a good year this year. Just taking a look at his numbers. It's not... See, for me, good is different than Nick's good. And when I brought this up on a podcast once, I'm like, what's your good? And his good is above average. My good is average. If you're average, you're good. You're serviceable. I put you in the lineup, right? And he is slightly below average. So maybe he's serviceable. No, he's got a OPS of 732, a batting average of 235, can occasionally pop one. Interesting trade. Not the big, fish that we like to see being fried here. But it's an interesting trade. I mean, we know the Pirates in this side of the story. We know they're going to sell. They're going to sell some pieces. They might sell a David Bednar type. You know what I mean? They might sell him at some point. That's something that if we're Blue Jay fans we're looking at, I think we got to keep an eye on, right? David Bednar is an incredible pitcher, bullpen guy, closer for those Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's having an incredible year right now. Like just below 1, around mid 1 ERA. Excuse me, not below 1, below 2, mid 1 ERA. He's amazing. And the Brewers, like we know, they're going to buy. But they're going to buy Brewer-type players. They're not going to buy big-name players, big-market players. They just don't do that. They're like the Tampa Bay Rays of the Central. They're a low-budget market team. Brewers, classic trade. That's the news there. Keep on going. Speaking of Brewers, I thought this was interesting today. I thought this was pretty dang interesting. Devin Williams, the relief pitcher, one of the best relief pitchers. I'm pretty sure Devin Williams is closing for them now, if I'm not mistaken. He's a really talented pitcher. He updated his Instagram bio, took out his affiliation with the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, I don't think this means he's getting traded or the Brewers are selling, because clearly they're buying. But there's some beef there, and we've seen some Brewers players get shipped off last year, like Josh Hader, when they were competing. They did some really weird stuff. And I was like, okay, is Devin Williams on like a contract year? No, he's still got 3 more years with the Brewers. So that was interesting. Just something fun to note. Maybe there's a random Devin Williams trade. I don't know. Hey, I wouldn't complain if we got a Devin Williams type. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be complaining at all. I'm going to take a quick moment, read some of your comments, drink some agua, because it is hot. Apparently, this is the hottest month of all time, ever. So, I can feel it. It is hot. So let me read some of your comments here. Oh, yeah. There was some talks about Grichuk. I actually saw Blake Murphy talking about Grichuk on radio today. Hard pass on Grichuk. We rode that pony before. But here's the thing, Boris. Grichuk has a completely different role this year. He is coming off the bench to hit lefties. You know what I mean? I think that's what people keep thinking. Like, he's just a bench guy. Like, he wouldn't be costing that much. And Grichuk's having a really great year this year. I think it's cool. I think a cool little reunion. Hey, Adam, do you think Biggio has to come to an end with the road with the Jays? Here's the thing, Anked Rails. We have him for another 2 years. I think it would just be a minor league thing. I mean, he can go to the minors. You know what I mean? Like, we can just find someone to replace him. I don't think there's no need to trade him. But if he comes up in a trade, sure. I don't really see why not. I really don't see Biggio being anything like he's been scouted to be. AKA his father, a Hall of Famer. He's not that. He's just a guy. So It doesn't need to come to an end. If it comes to an end, okay, cool. Like, I see him in the same boat as I see Santiago Espinal. I like Santiago Espinal as a person, but if it needs to come to an end, all right. We got prospects banging on the door down there. We have options to trade out there in the league. So, sure. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Let's get Tim Anderson. I'm on board with Tim Anderson, guys. That's why I made that video yesterday. He's just a bench guy. We've seen what happened with Whit Merrifield when we trade for him, and then we turn that around, and now look at him. Whit Merrifield's one of our best players this year. I think Tim Anderson could be the same. Talk about the Noah Syndergaard trade. Oh, yeah. I did not talk about the Noah Syndergaard trade. You know what? Let me look at that right now. Let me look that up right now. Let me close some of these tabs. I knew I was missing something. It's the Ahmed Rosario and Noah Syndergaard trade. That was interesting to me. News. Boom. All right, guys. Here it is. Guardians acquire. If it would want to flip over, please. Thank you. Guardians acquire Thor, a.k.a. Noah Syndergaard, from LA in exchange for Rosario. Now, I want to look up their stats here. Thor has not been having a good year with the LA Dodgers. I think the LA Dodgers are actually kind of happy to get rid of him. I mean, he's on a 1-year deal. I mean, if you want to package him in, please. 7.16 ERA, negative WAR, WHIP closing on a 1.5. Just a shell. Or not a shell, I want to say. He's just not having a good year. I don't know what's going on. Ever since that 2021 return, he's not been Thor. I mean, he's got a 4.92 ERA. Just not the same guy. Just not the same player. But the real player in this deal is finally the LA Dodgers get their man in Rosario. Ahmed Rosario. He's a guy. That's all I can say. He's got an 89 OPS plus. The WAR is negative. He's a player. Oh, and shout out to whoever just... Hey, shout out to Ari Pie with the $6.99 donation. I'm going to read your comment in just a moment, my man. Just finishing this thought here. It's a trade. 2 guys, not big names. They needed a shortstop to play every day. They got their shortstop to play every day. Dodgers, we know are going to be competitive. But I thought that... And where is it here? Here it is. That those Guardians were still in the hunt. But now I'm seeing they're about 500. They're still 6-4 in their last 10. But I do think that the Minnesota Twins have been... They're not even running away. They're starting to lose again. That Central, folks, is really up for grabs. 2 games out. I mean, if we're talking about the Angels being 3 games out and buying in, the Guardians, they're 2 games out and buying in. I'm curious to see what their depth chart is, actually. I'm going to look up their depth chart. Because, honestly, that whole Central, I have not been looking at this year. I don't want to go to their website. Depth chart. That whole Central, folks, I have not been even paying attention to. And we can see here. Tyler Freeman. I have heard that name a lot. Yeah, I mean, just all right. Yeah, not really a guy, to be honest. Let's take a look here. I prefer this. No, don't want that ad, please. Yeah, he's better than him offensively. Defense seems to be about the same. So, whatever. Guardians doing Guardian stuff. I guess they needed maybe they felt like they could turn around Noah Syndergaard. I don't know. Maybe it's for prospects. I don't know. Point being, it doesn't matter. It looks like they're not giving up a whole lot that's really going to impact their team anyway. So, yeah, that's a fine deal. All right, let me read your tweet, Ari, or not your tweet. Excuse me. Your super chat dono, Ori Pie 699, saying, "Where are you, Adam? Missed the set. Say hi to Nick for me." Thank you, my man. Where am I? I'm actually at my girlfriend's place right now. So we actually both are out of Toronto, out of the studio, at our girlfriend's houses. And yeah, I mean, I missed the set too. Set's cool, but you got to make things work when you live a life, I spent a lot of time down there, and sometimes you got to give time for others, right? So say hi to Nick for me. He's not here right now, but if he's here right now, then he can shout you out in the chat. All right. What else we got here? Kike Hernandez trade. Oh yeah, that was a little bit while back. My thoughts on that are Dodgers are dodgering and they're buying. You know what I mean? They're stacking that lineup, getting it full. Kike Hernandez is a classic player there. You mean talk about like returnee? You know what I mean? That's why I want Randall Grichuk back. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. That broke. Well, a thing broke there. Don't tell my girlfriend. Is that actually the Padres traded them? I know what you're talking about. All right, let's keep going, folks. Let's keep covering all the news. This is the news I actually love to hear. I actually, when I saw this, I was like, thank you. Bob Nightingale comes out here saying, and this affects the Blue Jays, everybody, because I made a video on this last week. Several teams have spoken with the Padres in recent days, believe that the all-star closer Josh Hader, who I talked about last week, and former Cy Young winner Blake Snell, which Nick has been talking about all week, will be traded. You hear that? People, the rumors are saying that they will be traded. They were in a hunt a little bit. They had a moment. The whole conversation was if they could really turn it around before the deadline, then yeah, they are going to buy in. But they're struggling. They're still below 500, 49-54. They're 7th place in the wildcard race, 6.5 games out of a playoff spot. 3 games out is different. 6.5 to 7, that is, we got a lot of problems. And thank you. They are actually going to trade some stars. And Nick actually texted me, Padres listening to offers on Juan Soto. Looks like they're in a full sell mode. Would you look at that? Shout out to Nick for tweeting that or for texting me that. Boom. Let's go take a look, everybody. I'm going to flip this back here. Well, let me just finish my thought, actually. Blue Jays, get on the phone, man. There is not an often reality that comes around where you have a team that has full of all-stars, literally all-star caliber players. The talent there is remarkable, and they're selling them. They're selling people like Blake Snell, and they're selling people like Josh Hader. Other than David Bednar, this guy, Josh Hader, is amazing. You know, he's better. He's the best closer in baseball, right? And to top it all off, what's been the problem that the Blue Jays had forever? For the whole season, for last year too. What's been their problem in the bullpen? It's not the performance. The performance is great. Guess what it is? Lefties. I love Tim Mesa. Love him. One of our, literally, probably the best bullpen guy we have this season. Tim Mesa. But I don't want to see what happens to Tim Mesa like I'm seeing what happens to Eric Swanson. When you have a guy who's overworked so much that he starts to fall off. I truly blame Eric Swanson's fall off with the workload management. You know what I mean? Get somebody like Josh Hader, lessen Eric Swanson's workload, lessen Tim Mesa's workload when you're playing matchups, and look what's going to happen to your team. It's going to be phenomenal. Let me flip back over to me, and I'm going to find that Juan Soto stuff. Juan Soto news. Because that's crazy. Juan Soto news. Okay, boom. Here we go, folks. Flipping it back over. We got CBS over here. Can you guys see? Nope. My computer does a weird thing where it doesn't want to flip. There we go. MLB trade rumors. Dodgers inquired about... Oh, that's a whole other thing. I was about to get to that. Dodgers inquired about Nolan Arenado. Padres listening on Juan Soto, Josh Hader, Blake Snell. So we talked about Josh Hader, Blake Snell, but Juan Soto. That's wild. I mean, it makes sense. Kinda. You got to ask yourself as the Padres, what are we trying to do here? Because in my mind, they weren't going to trade Juan Soto because you still have a year to be competitive with him. It makes sense to trade Josh Hader. You don't have him next year. It makes sense to trade Blake Snell. You don't have him next year. And you've spent your entire farm system trying to get Juan Soto, so you were going to replenish it with the prospects that you get from Hader and Snell. But now I think what they're doing here is they're just going to see what happens if we take a listen on Juan Soto. Is someone going to offer a package something similar to what we offered? Probably not to that extent because he has one less year on the deal. He is playing a lot better than he did last year when he was traded. So it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. Again, I think they need to. They're not going to sell all these pieces. I mean, they could sell Hader and Snell, yes, but if they sell Hader and Snell, they also going to sell Juan Soto. I mean, maybe if the deal's right, if they feel like you still are going to have Machado, you're still going to have Xander, you're still going to have Fernando Tatis Jr., you're still going to have Cronenworth. Hopefully, he turns it around. Maybe you buy somebody because Soto's going to cost a lot of money next year. Maybe you do it. It's interesting, for sure. But while we're here, because I was going to save this one to a little bit later, but we already talked about the Dodgers a little bit. I mean, it's right here in the headline. Dodgers, they're inquiring about no one other than Nolan Arenado. They discussed a blockbuster deal. St. Louis Cardinals, we know, have been in sell mode. They're going to sell. Again, easy sell pieces are... your Jordan Montgomerys of the world, your Tyler O'Neills, guys that they're coming to a close on their contracts. You can flip them, get a little bit of prospect. But if the Dodgers really want to go in here and get themselves a third baseman that's going to really solidify that team, this would be the man. You want to talk about the best third baseman in baseball? I love Mr. Matt Chapman. Don't get me wrong. This guy's a better defender. This guy's a better hitter. All around. This guy's a future Hall of Famer, folks. Straight up. He's on his way. And let me pull up his stats here. This would be the Dodgers' way. Nolan Arenado. This year, 856 OPS, OPS plus of 130. You got 22 ding-dongs, 77 RBIs. Just absolutely amazing. And what is his contract? Because if you're trading... Arenado contract. If you're trading that contract, which, by the way, was created back in Colorado, and that deal, when he was traded for originally, I believe was $50 million and a boatload of prospects. I think there was like 5 prospects and $50 million to help pay for the contract. He's getting paid 35, 32, 27, 15. So actually, I love this. You kind of front load a contract. I love doing that. So you'd have him on the Dodgers till he's 36 for 4 more years. I think he's still going to be great in that time, folks. I think he's going to beat Father Time. That would be such a... to have Arenado, Freeman, Mookie Betts, like you literally take all the superstars of the last decade and put them on your team. You go to Atlanta, thank you. Boston, thank you. I guess you could say Cardinals or Colorado, thank you. That's wild, man. I mean, if they do it, wow. If they do it, man, Dodgers didn't really buy in last year. I think their fans were kind of angry. This would be the trade deadline to remember for the Dodgers. I really can't think of a bigger and better trade, because not only are you trading for the skill, obviously this year, you're trading for this is the future of your team. Your team, it's like you just signed him to a 4-year deal. Nolan Arenado. That's amazing. If he was up for a contract next year, you're like, okay, well, now you got 4 more years with him. That'd be amazing. Just phenomenal. I'm going to flip back here, folks. Just kind of shout out everybody in the chat. What's up, guys? We've got 241 of y'all in here. If you haven't already, guys, please hit that like button. We're at 60 likes. Can we try to get to 69 likes? I think we can. I know we can, actually. I know we can. We can do it, everybody. And, I see the likes happening. Hey, what's up? Dole Simmons are saying Nolan is only waiving his no trade clause to the Dodgers. Is only... Oh, wow. Wow. That is wild. That is wild. Charlie saying Jay's got Stroman. Yeah, right. Oh, we smashed 69. Let's go, everybody. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you, everybody. Who was number 69? Who was number 69? Who was it? All right. All right, guys. Let's keep on going here. Just another one. Also, shout out Topher, shout out Rayno, shout out Ahmed. Nolan's agent said Nolan waiving his trade clause. Yes, is false. Oh, interesting. We got some false rumors out there. So Nolan's agent said that he wasn't waiving his no trade clause. Interesting. Adam saying, what would the Jays have to give the Padres to get Juan Soto? What would it be like? Well, he got him for another year. Ah, man, you'd have to give up so much. Like, you're giving up a top prospect, without a doubt. Like a Ricky Tiedemann in there, a Revis Martinez. Like, you're giving up one of those guys, and probably maybe even two. It's Juan Soto, like for the package that he got last year. Yeah, you got to give up two top prospects at least. I'd say at least. All right, breaking. Showing to the Jays for Mitch White. I wish, guys. Listen, why don't we transition a bit to some Jays related rumors, shall we? Let's transition a bit, because nothing right now is going off, and I'm waiting for the text messages. I got my boys telling me what's happening. Talking Baseball said the Marlins have shown interest in Tim Anderson. I'm bringing up Tim Anderson again, folks. Now, the Jays are looking for middle infielders. If you watched my video this morning, shout out to everybody who did, you will know that the Blue Jays were looking at middle infielders, okay? And part of the middle infielders that are on the market are Tim Anderson. And there's been a lot of connections. Now, they're not, this isn't a strong connection, okay? There are thoughts by MLB analysts on that this would make sense for the Jays because we're interested in guys with options. Remember that like a couple weeks ago? Ross Atkins is interested in players who have options. He's got an option next year. So we have a little bit of competition for one of our trade options right now. So that's something to note. If Tim Anderson's going to cost a little bit more, he's going to cost a little more. But here's the thing. Whatever he's going to cost to start with before the bidding wars is not going to be a lot, folks. Guys, I really don't think trading for Tim Anderson is going to hurt our team. Who's he replacing? Ernie Clement? Jonathan Luplo? Or whatever his name is? I don't even know his name. He's replacing guys who are AAA players. This is a guy who's a former batting title. He's going to cost nothing. Literally nothing. So please, let's do it. So Marlins are in on him. All right. Yeah, we've talked about the Nolan Arenado. We already talked about this in my video, guys. So please check it out. I believe we're coming to the end here, folks, of just all of our rumors. Yeah, we are. Okay. Also got a text, not necessarily related, but on MLB Trade Rumors, they have an article talking about how multiple teams are showing interest in Eduardo Rodriguez. I love that. Boom. Let's talk about it, folks. Padres reportedly willing to listen on offers. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Uh-huh. Give me a minute here, folks. Giant starters drawing trade interest. Here we go. Hey, who's drawing trade interest? Okay. Contractually, Webb is signed an extension in April. He isn't going anywhere, but Wood is an impending free agent, and Cobb is a final guaranteed on his deal. Okay. With a $10 million club option for 2024. Okay. Cobb. I think we've talked about Cobb before on this channel. We've talked about so many guys. Cobb is an option, guys. Cobb is definitely an option for these Toronto Blue Jays. If they're listening in, I even though they don't say Blue Jays, I would not be surprised because what did we say here, folks? Blue Jays are interested on guys with options, starting pitching depth, older veteran players. This is the man right here. You got a club option for next year, $10 million. That's nothing for Rogers. And Alex Cobb, .297 ERA with a whip of 1.349. Boom. That's perfect. I really hope the Jays are in on him. I really do hope. Did they mention anything here? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? They have been looking for middle infield help. Boom. The Giants have been looking for middle infield help. Some infielders could potentially available are Cavan Biggio, Santiago Espinal of the Toronto Blue Jays. Who was asking me before about Cavan Biggio? I trade Cavan Biggio for Alex Cobb. I guarantee Alex Cobb's going to do more for us than Cavan Biggio will. Look at him. 3.1 WAR. You've got an option for next year. It's not even a player. It's a club option. So we'll definitely pick it up. And what's Cavan Biggio done? Oh, negative 0.5 WAR. Yeah, I would smash that in a heartbeat. If it was Cavan Biggio, rank 11, rank 9 prospect, something around there, and for Alex Cobb, done. Easy. We better be in on that. Folks. All right. What else we got here? Just going to look at the comments right here. I'm also going to find that Eduardo Rodriguez stuff. Eduardo Rodriguez. News. There we go. 7 hours ago, we've got a little report. If it would flip over, please. Thank you. Eduardo Rodriguez. Remember him? Before he got injured, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball on those Tigers. A team that's obviously bad. He's drawing widespread trade interest. Obviously. He's a great player. He's 30 years old, and he's got lots of options. Not options as terms of club options or player options, but he's got tons of years left. Let's take a look at that deal. He does have never mind. He's got an opt-out. It's $18 million. This thing keeps falling off. $18 million he's getting paid next year. And based on the way he's performing, I might test out the market and try to get an extension, a longer deal. Because you're going to be 33, 34. People aren't going to want to sign you anymore and give you a lot of money unless you're literally Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. But yeah, I'd opt out and I'd try to cash in right here. Because he's doing really well. So with that being said, I think you could flirt with the idea of offering less, but somebody, if he's getting widespread trade interest, somebody's going to offer up enough for Eduardo Rodriguez that might kind of outbid the Blue Jays, in my opinion, because there's that option there, that opt-out option for Eduardo, which I think he's going to smash. You don't really want to play with fire. Like, yeah, if he doesn't decide, he's going to do it. Like, of course you're going to do it. Someone's going to buy you next year and probably give you an extension, or pay you the same amount and give you an extension, or give you more money, average annual value for the rest of your years. So, yeah, that's interesting. Also, there is another player out there, which is Jonathan India from the Reds. I think, first of all, before I relate it to any Blue Jay stuff, the whole Jonathan India news of him getting traded is kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. Because let me do my looking here. My research. Jonathan India, yeah, not having the best year with the bat. You know, if I flip over here, if y'all can see, great. 747 OPS, but he's your second baseman. Throws right, blah, 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 blah. You know the potential you have in him. His rookie year was really good. 835 OPS, not so good last year, better this year. He's got lots of years left on him. Why, if I'm the Cincinnati Reds, why am I trading this guy? Why? Is there another prospect coming up that could potentially take his place? That's my only guess, is that there's possibly a guy coming up to take his place. Jonathan India. Like, who is it? Second baseman, Kevin Newman. No. It's Jonathan India, of course. So, but Nick was texting me, bringing up a good point, that we might offer that offer for him. Hey, I mean, if they're trading him, I will definitely throw my hat in the ring for Mr. Jonathan India. Why? Do I need to repeat it again, folks? Tons of control. He's young. He's 26. I really don't think his upside's any more than his rookie year. I think probably that's his ceiling. Like, you know what I mean? But look at that. You have ARB1, ARB2, ARB3. Do they not want to pay him? Like, I don't understand, right? I'll pay him. I don't care. I'll pay him. I'll take him. So, interesting. Interesting stuff to note here, folks. Let me flip back and just shout you all out real quick. Let's see. There we go. We've got 244 of y'all in here. If you haven't already, guys, please smash that like button and subscribe button. We are just waiting, and literally what Limousine saying, please do something, Ross. I agree. Frozen Boo. What do you mean? Stream not working? What are you talking about? I can literally see it working. Is it not working? No, I'm watching it right now. Okay. I'm watching all your comments come in. Breaking news. Oh, yeah. Sadly, Baltimore might win the World Series. Best team ever. Baltimore has made so much more than the Blue Jays. Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, Adam, what would be the cost for a hater? Honestly, the cost for a hater would absolutely have to be closing on a top 5 prospect. He only got the rest of the season, but he is the number 1 closer. Like, probably a top 5 prospect. Yeah. Probably top 5, guys. Also, we did get an interesting one right here. I got all my guys from Blue Jays today. Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Nick. With all these trade rumors. You're frozen about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, interesting. Rangers. They're pursuing, on MLB Rumors and News, they are pursuing Lance Lynn. Now, they don't have verification, but we all know how weird Twitter is nowadays. There was a bunch of verification. Now there's like no verification. So, MLB News and Rumors. Rumor. Here we go. Here, y'all like this. Here's the thing. You know when Lance Lynn, y'all know Lance Lynn? Having one of the worst seasons out of any starter in baseball right now. Apparently, on his no-trade list is the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, good, Lance Lynn. I didn't watch you anyways. Gosh, I'm actually kind of happy. Because if Ross was good to go out there and like look for pitching depth and add you, he'd only be shooting us in the foot. I think Mitch White's better than you, Lance Lynn. Take that. What do you think about that? Mitch White is better than you. That's right. That's an insult. I'd be pretty insulted if I were you. But no, go in here. I just want to get that out into the universe. Rumor, Rangers are pursuing Lance Lynn. Now, take this as you will. Right? Rangers, they've had Lance Lynn on the team before. They have a hole to fill with DeGrom being injured. He'd just be a depth piece. I mean, hey, I don't want Lance Lynn. I don't know why anybody would want Lance Lynn, to be honest. Can anyone explain to me why we want Lance Lynn? I don't. Go ahead, Rangers, take him. Actually, in fact, I want the Rangers to take Lance Lynn. You know why? I want them to fail. I think you're going to help them fail, Lance Lynn. You know what? Take Mitch White while you're at it, too. Start them both. Game 1, Game 2 of any postseason game. I bet you'd like that. I don't know, guys. All right, folks. I'm going to keep this stream going for a little bit. I'm going to wait a little bit, maybe like 10 more minutes, see if anything happens. And see what goes. Lynn's been done. I know, John. I'll take some of your questions here while we wait. I'll wait another 10 minutes. Send me your rumors. Send me your trade updates. We'll go from there. Adam, Lane Thomas would be awesome. You know what, Limousine? You should wait for my my video coming out tomorrow. Thank you. Appreciate it. Shout out to Keith delivering the iced coffee. I needed it because I felt myself running out of gas there. I was running out of gas. Yeah, Lane Thomas. You should watch my video coming out tomorrow, folks. tomorrow around, I think it's going to be like probably like 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Shout out to that video. I'm going to talk all about Lane Thomas. Because after Blake Murphy, look, I wasn't even thinking about Lane Thomas until Blake Murphy came on our show and started talking about him. And I was like, all right, cool. I actually think this is probably, and I say it in the video, not only a good trade, but a great trade and a probable trade for the Toronto Blue Jays based on what I'm saying tonight, which is controllability, youth, and upside. Oh, by the way, Cabrera's new nickname is Henny, by the way. Thank you all. I haven't actually, and sorry to all those who like been kind of saying, I've seen the comments like, where are your live streams, where are your live play-by-plays? Well, as you know, all the games have been on the West Coast. So, Nick and I work, well, here's the thing. We start at 9 a.m. for our, 9 to 5 jobs, but I also get up a couple hours before every day and edit for you guys, edit reels, edit videos at 7 a.m. So to stay awake till 1 a.m., 1:30, and then go to bed and then wake up, it would drain me. And I want to make sure I make good content and I'm healthy. So that's why we haven't been going live. And I know that the 4 o'clock game was a 4 o'clock game, but I was also at work. So that's, you see how it all happens there. Henny Cabrera. And I said it in today's video, if y'all watched. I'm eating my words so far. I'll eat them. I don't care. I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words about Henny Cabrera. He's looked good. I think he's thrown 3 scoreless. Pretty good. A's won't give up on Rooker. He's got league minimum next season. And the cheap stakes. A's love the guys like that. Yeah, I don't think Rooker's going anywhere either from the A's. We can flash that guy over while I'm talking about him. He's not going anywhere. Just because he's on a team that's bad doesn't mean he's getting traded. Eventually the team has to become good, and Rooker is part of that rebuild. You know what I mean? Come on, flip over. There we go. Yeah, a great guy. A 125 OPS plus. Batting average not so much there. 16 homers at Coliseum's pretty darn good. And I bet he's got a lot of doubles. Oh, no, only 13. Yeah, he's pretty balanced. Cool. I mean, he's solid. Not so much on the defense side of things, but he's solid. Very solid. All right, folks. Keep asking your questions. Keep bringing them in. We got 200 people watching right now. If you haven't already, please drop a like on this stream. I'm soloing this tonight, so I'd really appreciate it. It's a testament to the vocal cord, their strength. So I'd love it for you guys to do that. Rooker is almost 29. He's on their timeline. He is contractually, Trenner. He is contractually. They're cheap. If a guy's cheap, they'll take it. Is Jay Jackson underrated? Agree or disagree? Absolutely, he is underrated. I mean, absolutely. I was underrating him. I think nobody, if you ask anybody who's not a Blue Jay fan who Jay Jackson is, other than Atlanta maybe because he was there recently, I don't think anybody would really know. So, yeah, underrated. Did they get Anderson? No. Nothing right now happening, folks. But let me tell you right now while you're here, if something doesn't happen tonight, that's okay. We're going to be going live at least. We're probably going to go live Monday night too. Probably Monday night. And then we're going to go live all day Tuesday. Trade deadline's at 6 p.m. And I know we give you high energy on Blue Jays today. We like to be outgoing, loud, talk a lot. But that day, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'll get excited when the things start happening. But we're going to be live all day long from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. watching the trade deadline, breaking it down. So absolutely, guys, check it out. Also, Dawson, Addison Barger playing second for the first time in AAA. Ooh. There's our sound effect. There you go. That says something. That says something right there. Options. You never know. How much should the Jays buy this trade deadline? Saying Pap. 'Cause I think they still buy conservatively. Like I know, like they're not going to buy a superstar. I think they're going to buy someone like a Tim Anderson, middle infield help, maybe even a Jonathan India. That's an interesting point. And then they buy a depth starter, maybe a bullpen piece. All three would be great. They're not going to buy superstars. They just don't have the prospect right now to do it. I'll be watching Tuesday, says Daniela. Heck yeah. And oh, shout out to who? Oh, shout out to who just subscribed. Limousine. Shout out. Guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please drop that subscribe button. Adam, I'll be honest, saying our new subscriber. I'll be honest, Ross makes me worried because we all know without Witt last year, deadline was an F. I know. Our deadline was Mitch White, which we thought might have been something. That's a depth starter right there. And then it was, who else was it? Oh yeah, it was Whit Merrifield, obviously. At the time was like, okay, like Tim Anderson, right? And it was Zach Pop and Anthony Bass. I think our deadline's going to be pretty similar. It's going to be pretty similar. Yeah, I know. And, Alex DeJesus. He's good. Yeah, he's also great. Let's see here. First glance, I like Hennesis or Henny. Me too. I mean, I haven't watched the games, but it's still pretty good. All right, folks. Final wrap up here. Ask some more questions. Brandon Belt, is he picking up the pace? What do you think? I think Brandon Belt is what Brandon Belt is. He'll get hot. He'll get cold. I think he's solid. You're going to slot him in there. He's going to get your strikeouts, yes, but he's also going to get your walks. I think we should trade. Again, maybe not. Well, because we like the lefties in there. We really do. Like, honestly, I would love Cody Bellinger. You know what I mean? I would love Cody Bellinger for this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. Jordan Montgomery would be nice. I agree. Do you think Chapman will be a J next year? No. I just don't. He's going to cost too much. I don't know. Espinal, stay or go. I think one of Espinal or Biggio probably goes. Probably goes. If we're trading for middle infield, either going to go to the minors, or we're going to put him in a trade because we're going to bring in somebody. I think so. Is there a universe where Dalton Varsho would be traded? What do you think about what would be the value for him? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they trade away Lourdes and Gabriel Moreno to give up. Shout out to Topher for becoming a YouTube member. That's what's up. Shout out Topher. Welcome. Guys, become a YouTube member, folks. You get some cool emojis. That's what's up. That's what's up. Is Simeon too crazy? Yeah. Simeon's a little bit too... He's on a competitive ball team right now. Too competitive. I do know who David Schneider is popping out. Little breakout minor leaguer right there. Again, he's not going to come up this year. But I'd be shocked, actually. Next year, maybe. We'll see. Him, Barger, or Elvis Martinez, whoever survives the deadline. Competitive. All right, folks. It's about an hour into the stream. I don't know if anything's going to happen here. I'm just kind of waiting. I kind of covered the entire news. Thoughts on Hagen Danner? I feel nothing. If we were to trade him, I don't care. I don't really care. I just want to know how much for Bednar. Because he's got control. Top five prospect, maybe. Yeah, top 5. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Top 5 prospect. Absolutely. Maybe even 2. I know it. I know Del Silver says a trade's going to happen as soon as the stream ends. And if it's for the Blue Jays, if the Blue Jays do make a trade, I can guarantee this, folks. If they do make a trade, and it's big, like if it's like a Trent Thornton and McCoy, a Thornton and McCoy, we're not gonna go live for that. You know, make a video about it, talk about it later. But if it's something like Tim Anderson, yeah, we'll go live. We'll go live for it. We'll hop onto like a StreamYard or something. Yeah, trade Zuleta. I think we gotta trade Zuleta too. And we don't gotta trade Zuleta, but you're right. I do see the problem. The command is like, the reports are like, it is just wild. It is just wild command. So I don't know. What about David Hayter? David Bednar and Josh Hader? Nuts. That'd be crazy. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, Danielle. Yeah, I agree, Danielle. Like, it's 5 days early. People are still talking. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Don't worry, guys. The trade deadline will always pick up. That's why we're going to go live on the Monday night, and we're going to go live on the Tuesday. Is Stroman still in the picture? I think he's going to get traded. Don't know if he's getting traded to Toronto. I just don't really think a lot of people have confidence that the Toronto Blue Jays are going to trade for him. Just don't think there's a lot of confidence there. Katie Flower Smith. Good riddance, Trent Thornton. You know what? I am glad he's gone. I didn't want to see him on the Blue Jays, but like, he was there when nobody else was in 2019. He was the Blue Jays rotation, you know? So like, shout out for helping us get through that rough time. This knob keeps falling off. All right, guys. I think I'm going to cut it right there. Yes, got some music. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this trade deadline tracker. Covered all the news. We covered some rumors, covered all the big news, where people are kind of at. But the biggest thing about the Toronto Blue Jays, like I said, looking at that middle infield. That's been the big target right now, that middle infield. Possibly for the future, maybe a little bit future add in the outfield, but definitely a starting pitching depth piece. And as well, maybe one more bullpen ad, maybe a lefty. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button before you leave the stream. And always make sure to smash that subscribe button. And as always, guys, go Jays, go. Dancing. Let's go. More trades. Let's